I don't really know what toxic masculinity is. I think it's just you're just a bad person.
Yeah.
I think masculinity is so important, but now it's being viewed as a bad thing.
Yeah.
And I see a lot of, in my opinion, weak men are saying, "Oh, you're too masculine or you're too strong." Again, I don't even understand that language. And I think masculinity is important, but I think a lot of people, they don't understand the difference from alpha and masculinity. To me, an alpha is someone who walks around and beat on their chest. But I actually learned that alpha in the wolf pack is the wolf that stays in the back to make sure everything is going smooth. Exactly. In my opinion, I think masculinity is to be able to protect and provide physically, but also emotionally.
Yeah.
What up? This is Uriah Hall, and welcome to the first episode of Hall Pass. I've been trying to do this show for years, and my friend's been on my butt, but pause. But
we started coming in hot.
But, I'm excited to start this show. And for those of you who don't know about the Hall Pass, it's not the Hall Pass that you think. It's a different type of Hall Pass. And we're going to be talking about a certain uncomfortable conversation. Not necessarily uncomfortable, but the type of conversation that a lot of people try to ignore, and my first guest, we actually share the same pause. I got to fix that, man. My first guest is going to be Spencer Dinwiddie, and we both have the same doctor, Dr. Camille Reagan. She's one of the best in Dallas. And, I think we have a lot in common. And me and Dr. Camille were talking about it, and she recommended that me and Spencer would have a really good way of communicating about certain dynamics, certain conversation. And if you don't know too much about Spencer, I think he's a guard, right? You play guard in NBA.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna be real with you. I watch NBA, but I'm old school. I think you're old school too.
A little bit.
Yeah. And when I was growing up, I didn't understand basketball too much, of course, with Michael Jordan and how they would get into fights and just no complaining. I'm from that era
of course.
of watching basketball. But I did read a little bit about you. I think you were the second draft pick, if I'm correct.
Oh, I was drafted in the second round.
In the second round, I apologize for that. And I know you got injured.
Yeah.
ACL. Was that before you were leaving college?
Yeah. So one of my ACLs was when I was declaring for the draft. It's part of the reason why I went in the second round instead of first. And then another one of my ACLs was my fifth year in the league, sixth year in the league, something like that. I tore my other ACL, so I've done both.
Man.
Yeah.
So for me as a fighter, we're injury prone. I haven't gotten to that point of tearing any ACL or anything like that.
Sure.
But I've had broken wrist, fractured stuff. We might relate to this as an athlete. And I think that's what I've noticed about you. Nothing was handed to you.
Yeah.
And you're the type of guy you have to kind of, maybe there's a chip on the shoulder where you're like, I got to show up. I got to do what I got to do. And maybe if I didn't get picked first, I got to use this to identify myself because I'm not going to rely on you.
Exactly. I think to your point, especially as an athlete, I think even more so in your sport, where it really is just you. We have teammates, but you still realize nobody's really coming to save you.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? Even in our sport, obviously it's a team game, but if you're not performing, eventually the coach sits you down. You know what I'm saying? And nobody, especially in the NBA, they're gonna be like, "Oh, it's okay. Don't worry about it. We're still gonna pay you." Nah, it don't work like that. You have to perform to keep your job and keep your job for a long time. And the best way you can do that is to always be accountable. You have to look in the mirror. You're gonna take your L's, and you've had your loss or your fractured wrist and stuff like that in life. And in those dark moments, it's just kind of it's every, athlete's moment to kind of have a Batman moment in a sense where they can look in the mirror and they're like, nah, nobody's coming to save me. I'm in this hole, but I'm gonna dig my way out. And you end up better for it.
Yeah. So I know for me as a fighter, I agree with you. No one's coming to save you. Our injury is a little bit it's, you get wrist and ankles and all that because we have to perform at such a high level. I know you perform at a high level too, But I think a lot of people, when they watch basketball, I don't think they take you guys type of injury as serious. It's like, oh, you're fine, you know, like put a Band-Aid on it or something.
Yeah.
Have you ever gotten those type of people who, you know, will talk shit or like, you know,
Of
you're
course.
fine or whatever, just get back in there, shut up and dribble, basically.
Of course. I mean, now to defend, I guess those people, there is hurt and there's injured.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And I know in our sport sometimes we embellish things to try to get free throws and whatnot. So sometimes it's hard to draw the line. But no, there's a lot of times that people are legitimately injured and they have that broken wrist or whatever it may be, and they're still trying to play. You know, I mean, I think our best example or our most famous example is probably Kobe, because he was always playing with, you know, like big time injuries. But, you know, a lot of guys do that stuff silently. You know what I mean? Like, you know, I've had certain things that go on that are, you know, more basketball related, sprained ankles, whatever it may be, and you just you keep going.
Yeah. Now I know a lot of athletes, and I'm just going to switch gear a little bit. A lot of athletes in that world of playing or competing, you know, it's hard to have a life after that.
Yeah.
And, you know, I know you're a businessman. What are some of the things, because I know I had to kind of look that route as I'm phasing out of that fighting world. It's like, okay, I identify as Uriah the fighter. What else can I do? You recommend, as you're doing it, as you're competing, utilizing those moments to kind of gain something in the business world to have a better transition?
Oh, you have to. I think the best thing you can do with your idle time, and again, we're all going to have fun at times, of course, but best thing you can do with your idle time is study. So if you can find a route that you can study, whether, and it could be podcasting, for example, it could be, you know, a variety of different things. I hear people do all types of stuff. Some people want to become the biggest, not gardener, but like farmer. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like I've heard a couple people say things like that, or, you know, obviously I've lent myself to crypto, and then other people do, you know, just other things in finance or this. And, you know, sometimes it's more passion focused, sometimes more making money focused. But if you can take that time to study, it helps you build that identity individually and personally first. And then it also helps you know where you need to network to get better at that field and to grow that while you're still playing at a high level or competing at a high level, because that's when everybody want to talk to you.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, you know, most guys, I would say 3 to 5 years after retirement, like, people don't really want to talk to you as much anymore. Like, you're going to kind of have this window of while you're playing and probably this kind of little retirement period for another couple years where everybody's like, oh man, like that's still so-and-so. But then after that, and I think that's why a lot of guys, especially that even if they did well with their money, like they get to about 5 years post-retirement, they start saying like, oh, I want to coach. They need to feel that, you know what I'm saying, again. But yeah, I mean, I think you got to maximize the window while you have it.
Yeah, I like that. And that's something I had to learn at a certain point in my life, because I was so fixated and focused on that. I didn't know how to transition. I mean, I'm the type of guy, when I touch something, I go all the way.
Yeah.
So if I'm fighting, that's all I'm focused on. But I didn't understand the social media world, especially now with TikTok, how it's easy. I still have my morals because I'm old school, so I'm like, I ain't going to go on TikTok and dance and shit. Yeah.
Hey, I've never had TikTok.
I have one, but I barely use it.
Yeah.
So switch gears a little bit, you know, like we all have chapters in our life, right? And so if your life right now was a chapter, like what title would you give it and why?
Ooh, okay. I didn't expect a truly introspective question.
It's the hall pass, baby.
Yeah. Let's see. Where am I at? I would say I mean, I guess maybe like the fork.
Okay.
Right? Because to your point, I think basketball and my basketball years always seemed in front of me. You know what I mean? And now, even if like I play in the NBA a couple more years or whatever, like it's still only a couple more years. You know what I mean? Like the large portion of my career is behind me. The revenue really generating portion of my career is behind me, like all that stuff. So, you know, even when you're in high school and college, or even when you're first getting into the NBA, like you're still kind of looking forward to the career. Like even though you have maybe 2 decades of basketball behind you, you still know I've got 10 years to go, and I've also got 10 like revenue generating years to go. You know what I mean? Like now it would be all about championships and fun and stuff like that, right? So what I mean by that is like at this stage, like I got 2 kids, you still want to win a championship, but you also you've got all these things you could do.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And thank God for my 12-year career, but like you just have just all these options now.
Yeah, a lot of
you know what I
options,
mean? And you're kind of like, I'm pretty sure I want to still do that, but like, do I? You know what I mean? So you catch yourself in those moments, and so when you think about like a championship itself, like that still excites me, and it's like the little boy in me still really wants to do that. You know what I mean? But then you think about like, man, like I might miss my kid's birthday. Like that don't sound fun. You know what I mean? So it's like it's all those different aspects of life, time with your mom, this, that, like, or even business stuff. So.
I like that. Do you feel like you're still in that dream aspect of still chasing that dream, or you said fork in a sense? I feel like you have so many options. Are you still chasing some type of specific dream, or you're just kind of like, okay, I have all these, I can dip my finger here, I can go here?
I think there's like the business of basketball and there's a purity of the game. Like, for example, even now when I'm stressed, I still go to the gym and put up shots because there's like that aspect of playing basketball where it's just like the little boys playing, stress relief. I just see the ball go through the net, feel good. Then there's the like, I'm really training for the NBA, and that level of intensity in my training is completely different than just getting in the gym, shooting shots because I feel stressed or something like that. So it's a very big difference, and basketball has been both therapy and career simultaneously.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I'm sure you've probably felt that same way about fighting.
Oh, yeah.
So the dream of my personal career and achievements and accolades isn't really there anymore because I feel like I've done a lot of what I wanted to do.
Yeah.
Whether that be externally, like taking care of my family, or it be things like averaging 20 points or playing at all-star level, or things of that nature that I feel like I've genuinely done, whether the recognition is there or not. I think the only thing left in terms of like little boy dream is like the championship.
Yeah.
But I also understand how hard it is to win one. So like if you don't in a team sport, I'm not going to sit back and be like, oh, my 12-year career or 13 or 14-year career was a failure either. So that's where I think, because it's not individual, it might be a little bit different, where I feel like maybe an individual sport, I might be more so like, nah, I need that belt before I can't retire without that belt. Like, I feel like in a team sport, shoot, I mean, one of the years we went the furthest, Luka was hurt to start, and our whole season almost got thrown into confusion of like, man, like, like Big Dog just went down. Like, what's going on? Like, and obviously we still like ended up going to West Conference Finals and all this other stuff as he came back, and it was a great year. But stuff like that happens.
Yeah,
you could be one injury away a couple days before the season ends, and then you're like, oh, like, are we really gonna win? Like, so it's different.
No, I understand that mindset. For me as a fighter, I left the UFC a couple years ago. And walking away was one of the hardest things. And I still think about it because I feel like I'm still in my prime. I'm still good. There were some things that I didn't agree with from a business standpoint, and I felt I didn't want to sell myself short. But, I still hold on to that. And I see a lot of fighters or athletes, they don't let go of that mindset to transition. Because I don't even know what's like the blueprint. It's never really given to us. And some people are fortunate where they're lucky, where they have certain success, and they have certain people be like, all right, here you go, man. Here's some shoes. Or here's something to transition into that. So I definitely agree with that. But that's a cool concept. And piggybacking off the journey of, where you are in your life right now, what would you say you need most at this stage in your life?
Oh, man. I think that all ties in. I think the funny part about it is where we're at, I think the conversation almost starts sounding like we're 65 because you start talking as if like you're a true retiree. We just happen to be 30, 40. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, I mean, what do they want? They want typically peace. They want some type of purpose tied to enriching their community, whatever that could be. It could be something small. It could be their country. It could be whatever, right? Because I think that's typically where retirees go. You know what I mean? And I think to your point, like the letting go of sport, I think the people that were very singular in focus and maniacal in their work, and to your point, you said you were all, fighting all the time. And like, for example, like I was able to come back from my pro ACL in 5 months.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It was just all that all the time. It was just, it's maniacal and focused. It's one track minds, all that. I think for those people, it's a little bit harder to let go. The people that I've seen transition really easy were the people that were like super, super talented.
Mm-hmm.
So they got there because they were so good, but not because they were so focused. They were just really, really, really great.
Yeah.
And they could just roll out of bed and and they're like, but now I'll just go golf or something. And you're like, so you just roll out of bed and you're great at both? Like, how'd that happen? Like, my golf swing's trash. Like, I worked every day for this. Like, what are we talking about? I literally worked 6-7 hours a day at basketball the whole time for 20 years. Like, you just, I'm good at baseball and sometimes I box too. And you're like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
So I think for those people, it's easier to kind of let go because they already weren't attached in the same way.
Now, we know that a lot of, we've seen like a lot of basketball players, they have how do I phrase this? They're in a position where they have access to a lot of beautiful women. He's just going to get a little crazy, right?
Yeah.
So there's a lot of beautiful women. I've seen basketball players date celebrities, but for the majority of the time, it's a lot of beautiful women. Like, what is your take on relationship these days? Do you think society kind of set a standards, or I think we were talking earlier, you were saying, when you're in a certain position in life, when you have access, it's like, okay, I could do things.
Yeah. Celebrity thing's not for me. Too much maintenance. No, but in all seriousness, I think to your point of like society's standards on relationships. Big picture, I think we failed each other. And like I said, kind of touched on it before this a little bit, like your truth, my feelings are valid, yours, whatever, and blah, blah, like, and I'm going to listen to respond has destroyed not just romantic relationships, but relationships in general, because everybody's too busy focused on themselves. Yeah. And in order to be like, and I know like you have to, yes, be healed, whatever, to be able to even show up for people. So yes, there is a certain amount of inner work and self-work, and yes, it starts there. But like, you can't only look at somebody as if they're not operating how I want right now, it's over. From that, just like that taking perspective, like you got to be able to meet people where they're at, have some level of reciprocity, show up for them in the way they need, you to show up for them, right? Like odds are, I would probably not need a woman to financially support me. You know what I mean? Like, now if Oprah's calling, cool, but like, you feel me? I want a jet, but nah, but I'm just saying, but like in all reality, it's probably not going to be a thing. Yeah. So if, let's say a woman was to lead with that, I'd probably sit there and be like that sounds good. And I love that you're a doctor and make 400,000 or something, but like, and I love that for you. Like I genuinely do, but the money aspect probably isn't going to do nothing really for me.
No, I don't think so. I think I hear a lot of women say this, I'm a boss bitch. I pay my bills. I do. I'm like, yeah, it's called being an adult.
Yeah, it's an adult.
It's called being an adult. I love that for you.
Being a sovereign individual.
Yeah, it's an adult. And I don't take anything away from that. Once I learned to dive into that, a part of it to me is trauma. Yeah. Because your past is just a story, I believe. And the moment you start to realize that, it doesn't really have any power over you. And I think a lot of women that have been hurt, they kind of set up this thing where it's like men. And I'm like, no, the men that you've dealt with.
There you go.
They're like that, you know? So I get where they're coming from, where they don't feel safe in that sense. So they have to project themselves to say, I need to be this independent. Yeah. And I've dated girls who say, no, my dad told me to never depend on a man. And then I'm like, well, he did it halfway, because what I really think, masculinity and femininity is so important, and I think it complements each other so we can grow.
Exactly.
But you can't build if you don't have honesty.
Exactly.
I think we talked about a lot of people don't listen to understand anymore. Yep. They just listen to reply. Yeah. And it's like, this is what I want. I'm like, that's great. Are you hearing me?
Yeah.
So I think with relationships, we kind of need to learn to understand each other's language. Yeah. We don't speak women. They operate differently off feelings, which is fine because emotions are great. Yeah. We're a little more logical in a sense. We can go to war and not think, oh man, I feel bad shooting you. You know what I'm saying?
That is.
So when we take the time to sit there and listen to understand, not listen to reply, I personally think we can grow, because society is going to always be the first to kind of, put a blueprint on everything. But everyone's different at the end of the day.
1,000%.
Everybody's got their own relationship. Yeah, the next thing I was going to ask you was, in breakups, because I went through one, and I know women are faster at moving on than men. But I also want to hear your perspective. Who moves on faster, and what do you think is behind that?
Oh, see, yeah, nah, you finna get me in trouble. Nah,
you get a hard pass to answer.
No, I'm gonna keep it real with you. So, because this was on my mind from the previous thing you said. I think, like you said, we complement each other. I think that equilibrium of life is almost like a 80-20. Like you need like a 80-20 work-life balance. Like you gotta be focused, but you need kind of that 20% to like, blow off steam. Like a man's gotta have, that large majority masculinity, but he's gotta have that certain soft spot to even be able to hear you and connect with those feelings when you're, trying to say what you're gonna say. And vice versa, right? Because sometimes he might be checking you, and you gotta be able to kind of put your logic hat on for just a split second and be like, man, maybe he really trying to help me right now. He trying to give me some game. So, but if it gets too inverse, right, the mixture just don't work. And then to the point of breakups, I think I lend myself to look at systems. It's probably why I like crypto. So I'm gonna preface that to say, like, when I look at male-female dynamics, I typically go way, way back. So whether you're religious and you're going back 6,000 years, or you believe in science and you're going back millions of years and stuff like that, when you look at like how females operate in the world as the more protected but more in danger, I guess, sex, you always have to have a layer of protection, right? And typically speaking, that was gained through your mate, right? Or your tribe. Like, so either, father, tribe, whatever took care of you, or mate now took care of you. Why does a woman not like to be without a man, and why do they move on quickly? And why are there like, men that are, kind of always in the background or whatever? Well, it's just biological, right? Like somewhere in the back of my mind, like, I don't want to be without a guy. Like, I don't want to be left in the world out in the cold or anything like that. Like, I kind of want to have that safety net. You know what I mean? And so they keep them in the tuck. It's just how it goes. You feel me? Like, and so when the relationship ends, they move on. They kind of get to that next guy, and you're like, damn, like, did you love me? But it's like, that's how they were. I mean, like, you think about, in older civilizations, if they came in, they'd kill the men. You know what I'm saying? And then they'd usually take the women, right? Like they weren't always as quick to kill the women. But remember, that woman now can't be like, oh, I'm mourning my dead husband, I'm not gonna like you. She had to be like, well, I'm on this program now. Or I die. You feel me? Like, it's kind of like, it sounds morbid when we think about it in 2026, but like some of that stuff is embedded in there. Like, it's how it goes. You feel me? And it's the same way as a man, like, you organically know if you ain't successful in some form or fashion, society they ain't rocking with that. Like, if you fat as a man, they not talking about body positivity. It don't happen like that. You know what I'm saying? You gotta hit the gym. Like, it's just, there's double standards all throughout life. People don't like it, but it just is how we're built.
Yeah. So I hear a lot about toxic masculinity. I don't really know what toxic masculinity is. I think it's just, you're just a bad person.
Yeah.
I think masculinity is so important, but now it's being viewed as a bad thing.
Yeah.
And I see a lot of, in my opinion, weak men are saying, oh, you're too masculine, or you're too strong. Again, I don't even understand that language. And I think masculinity is important, but I think a lot of people, they don't understand the difference from alpha and masculinity. To me, an alpha is someone who walks around and beat on their chest. But I actually learned that alpha in the wolf pack is the wolf that stays in the back. to make sure everything is
protecting
going
the tribe.
smooth. Exactly. In my opinion, I think masculinity is to be able to protect and provide physically, but also emotionally.
Yeah. That's that 20.
Yeah, exactly.
That's that 20.
You know, and I saw an analogy a while ago about how important masculinity and femininity is. And the person said an umbrella is being held up like this, and the man is the umbrella that's covering, but the woman is actually hold that umbrella, you know? And I think that's so important for that teamwork.
Yeah.
And a lot of times I hear happy wife, happy life. And I'm like, bro, whoever said that should be beaten to death, you know? Like, like why is your happiness only important? What about my happiness? You know, I think happy wife, happy husband, happy life.
Yeah.
You know, it shouldn't be a power struggle.
Exactly.
Like, I'm not going to go over there and be emotional. I don't thrive that way. You thrive that way, good. And we should complement each other to kind of, you know, do this. But I see a lot of the fights of men are this and women are this. And what do you think we can do to kind of stop the freaking bickering?
Well, it comes down to that understanding, right?
Yeah.
Because like if we're real about it, we're not even attracted to the you know what I'm saying, a woman acting like a man or a man acting like a woman. like again, if I were to come to you and something catastrophic happened in my family, and I cried, you're gonna console me. Like, female's gonna console me. If I just cried to you every day because like what happened at work, and I was like, oh, NBA hurt my feelings, and you know the Utah Jazz were mean today. Like, at some point, you're gonna look at me like, bro, what? Like, what are you talking about? You feel what I'm saying? Like, you're not like it's gonna become laughable. Like, you're like gonna be like, bro, like I don't care. Go beat the Cleveland Cavaliers. Like shut up. You feel what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But
a lot of women say open up to me though.
It's a lie.
It's not.
It's not. No,
it's
no.
like I'm different. You can tell me anything.
It's a lie and a half.
It's such bullshit.
It's all again how you do it and all that other stuff. Now you could come home and be like, man, I ain't gonna lie, I'm tired. You know what I'm saying? And then she's gonna tell you about her day. That's the opening up we talk about. We're not talking about sit here with tears and some like, nah, man, that's cap. You know what I mean? But it's the same way that like if your wife was coming in every day talking about, this dude walked by him on the street, I just spit in his face. And then buddy at the office was talking to me and I just whooped his ass. But at some point you're gonna be like, damn, are you okay? Like you fighting everybody? Like you good? Like so it's just, bro, it's just a balance, bro. Like it's that 80-20, and you need just enough to understand the opposite, you know what I'm saying, sex. But you gotta like kind of really live in your frame. And then also I think there is a little bit of an attack on masculinity from the standpoint of like constantly talking about things that are aggressive or more male in nature being bad. You know what I'm saying? Like I saw somewhere they were talking about like a bunch of like little boys always get like classified with like ADHD, but they just learn differently than like, you know, young ladies. Like where they're less like task oriented in terms of like they get told something, they just follow the task, and guys are like, you know, want to break rules and want to like play around and learn by like, you know, running and fighting and whatever. But it's just like the rough housing and stuff. Like my 2-year-old, all he wants to do is play basketball and like fight me. But it's not because he's like some like mean, crazy baby. Like he's, you know, he's laughing and he wants to like, you know, fake box and other stuff. Like he's not, oh, I'm trying to actually hurt my dad. You know what I'm saying? And it's that, again, it's that understanding. Like we are different. We are different. Yeah. We look for things. We try to basically get to the same outcome through the exact opposite. It's like doing this. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like, but so oftentimes women are saying, no, come on my route. Like this is how we're gonna do it. And it don't work that way.
No. Because the last time I was in a situation where I opened up, it kind of cost me. And you know, all I said to this individual at the time was, hey, because, you know, I think men have a financial clock, and I feel like women have a biological clock. And at a certain age, I was like, you know what? I need to get my shit together. It's like saying no one's coming to save you. I think most men start to realize that. And I'm like, I need to get my shit together. I need to, you know, better myself financially. And, you know, I'm looking at the future, getting married, having a kid. And I kind of worded this to her to say, I just give me some space to get that together. And this person came back and said, you know, you're right. This didn't sit with me well, but it's something we both can benefit from. I love you more than my ego. Let's do this. And then literally maybe 3 or 4 hours later, I can't do this. I I texted you prematurely and yeah, good luck. I'm like, wait,
Yeah.
what?
Yeah, because again, to them, like I said, if you're looking to garner that safety from a man,
Mhm.
it's in all facets.
Yeah.
It's funny because like when I talk to my people sometimes, like I'll use the analogy like men are like Walmart, you know what I'm saying? And women are like your favorite boutique store or your favorite restaurant or whatever. No, I'm serious. No, this I'm dead ass. I'm dead serious. Like when a woman goes to Walmart, right? She can get tires, she can get food, she can get her like shower soap, she could get whatever. You can get anything at Walmart, clothes, whatever. Like you can get it. That's how she expect to come to her dude. Like, yo, I'm Saturday. Okay, cool. Hey, yo, my tire needed to get changed. All right, cool. Oh, my boss is me. All right, cool. Oh, we need food for something. All right, cool. For us, our woman's more like our favorite restaurant or like boutique store or something. Like, if you know me, you know my favorite restaurant's Cote. Okay? COTE. They got a couple locations. Yeah. I can eat Cote almost every night. Almost. That's how much I love Cote. And if you know me, you know this. That is by far my favorite restaurant. I can eat that almost every night. But I don't go to Cote expecting to get my tire changed either. And I understand I got to do all that other stuff around that. So I might be able to get a fire dinner every night. But I know I might got to make my own breakfast still. I got to change my own tire. I still got to go to work. I still got to do, you know what I'm saying? Because I know like she'll show up for me in this way. And even if and to be honest, if I task her with too much, she don't get overwhelmed and then I just got more problems.
Oh, yeah.
So if I'm just like, oh, and I dump, boom, hey, take all this. Now you need to learn how to make breakfast and do tires and do all this other stuff. She gonna be like, why are you making me do this? Now I got more problems. Hey, if we having a hall pass conversation,
let's go.
You know, that's how it works. And so, but there's also, like I said, again, sex are different. There's beauty in some of that too, because when they're able to operate purely in the like la-di-da-di-da, you get some of the most like emotionally expressive happiness, like, you know what I'm saying, mother to the children and yada yada, all this stuff, that creativity, you know what I mean? Like some of that really just stems from their ability to like not worry.
Right. And they don't want to use their brain. They really don't.
Yeah, it's like the actual like hard worry.
Yeah.
They don't want to do that. They want it's all creative. It's all like flowery and like whatever.
I was about to say the same thing.
But it be working out for them.
Yeah.
You feel me? So it's like, whereas again, if I even allowed myself to get into like a really flowery space, I'd probably have anxiety because I'd be like, well, who paying the bills? Exactly. I start tripping going this way. You feel me?
Yeah.
So it's literally the opposite. Like, bro, if they get too much on that side, worrying about bills and stuff, they get anxiety. Like, no, I just want to exist. Cool. Yeah. If I ever try to turn my mind off to just exist, I immediately get sucked back into like, oh, whoa, no, wait, we're walking down the street. Who's that? Why are they walking this way? No. Oh, we gotta pay the bills. There's no. Like my mom's this. Like, you know what I'm saying? It's constant.
Yeah. No, I 1000% agree. You know, I hear a lot of women say that, you know, I shouldn't have to worry to go take a walk and all that stuff. But I have to explain sometime that we live in a different world. Yeah. You know, if I say, sweetheart, it's 11 p.m., you shouldn't take a walk. It's late and it's dark. And she goes, what do you mean? I don't feel like staying in the house right now. I want to take a walk to clear my head. I'm like, but baby, it's late. Yeah. And, you know, there are dangerous men out there. And the argument would be, well, why are men like that? It's like, it's a big planet. And you don't want to be in a situation to create that. Yeah. And I think a lot of women don't understand that. But it goes back to communication, because I've been there where I had to explain to this girl, like, sweetheart, it's late. Let me go walk with you. No, I don't want to be by myself. I'm like, you walk up there and I'll be all the way back here just to be. So I understand where they come from, because they're so fixated on it. It's a different language. What I've learned with the opposite sex is when we fight and a man is like, logic, and woman's like, feelings. And we're like, bitch, you don't hear me? And she's like, what's fucking wrong with you?
Yeah, it's not the same language.
And we do this, we actually become a little emotional. Like, you know what? I probably shouldn't have said that. It's probably a little mean. And they become a little logic. You're like, he was right. It is 11. I shouldn't be taking a walk. That time apart, usually.
It's that 20.
You know what I'm saying?
It's the 20, bro.
But sometimes, and this leads into the next question, when you're not getting that thing at home, you know, why do people cheat? Is it deeper? Is it lack of something? Is it temptation? Because sometimes if you're not getting it here, it's like, all right, and this person gives me some attention.
Okay, again, this to the viewers, this might sound like a cop-out, but I'm going to try to...
It's a hall pass, man. You can say whatever you want.
I'm going to try to, you know, get y'all to how I think about it. So again, earlier we said biological, we go back millions of years. Or sorry, science, millions of years. Biblically, or, you know, religion, probably about 6,000 years. In every version of this, especially as a man, even now, to the victor goes the spoils. There's a lot of hard aspects of being a guy. That's probably one of the benefits, right? In terms of historically speaking, right? To try to ease my way into this. The mating strategy that the human race most lends itself to is some amount of women to a powerful man, right? And that's how all sides get their needs met, right? And we see that, right? Just in all the movies, in all the whatever. Like I said, every story we got in the Bible, like you name it, it's all throughout there. And I think people are talking about ideally how they want it to be, like in their dreams, not how it actually is. And if I'm a woman looking to garner resources, get my needs met, whatever it is, or just be proud of my man or whatever it is, you probably got to be a really good, high-ish level guy. So whatever percentage you want to put on that, 1%, 2%, 5%, 10%, whatever it is, it's a low percentage. So I don't know what that is. Women, you can decide. For men, we got what, 20 times the testosterone? We want to have children, this, that, a third. And throughout history, the most powerful of them got to do that. And the ones that weren't had to either figure it out or basically be forgotten. That's why history only remembers great men. You know what I'm saying? So, like, we've spent a lot of time in our society today trying to reinvent the wheel and try to say how it should be, like, from like a feelings perspective. But nobody actually practices that. You know what I'm saying? So you can prescribe something and not practice it. It don't make any logical sense. Right. You feel me? And again, I sit in a privileged seat. So it sounds maybe a little, not selfish, but just like privileged, I guess, when I say that. But it just is what it is. You know what I mean? Like it's not Spencer sitting up here saying this and it now changes. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? I could sit up here and say, hey, everybody should just pair up and monogamy will work and whatever, and it still won't. And we see that, right? And the more we force it, we see birth rates decline, we see marriages fail, we see high divorce rates, or now divorce rates are dropping a little bit, but people aren't getting married at all. Because they're just like, well, why would I do that? You know what I'm saying? Because now with the laws and other stuff, the value prop for the guy is super low. And he the one that got to get on the knee. So if you don't give him an incentive to do it, why would I, you know what I'm saying? So it's just all this stuff, like, and it's, again, that's why I say 80-20. That's why I talk about understanding each other. That's why all that stuff. People got to be taught to understand the other party.
There you go.
And so because men's roles have been fairly static, protect, provide, try to be a little bit emotional, intelligent, aware, you know what I'm saying? Learn how to talk to a woman, be good in your career, honor your father and your mother, blah, blah. Men's roles have been fairly static. The female role has kind of been like, we do what we want. Yeah. And that's cool. But on the flip side of that, a man got to want that. And hey, listen, be a boss, do this, do that, be with guys, whatever. Like, hey, live your life. I am not here telling you how you should live. But because a relationship is two people, you got to be attracted to that other person. Like, I know right now, if I was a broke bum, I probably wouldn't be attracted to a lot of women. But I know, I can speak well. I'm in the NBA. Like, I got money. I smell good. So I can have some scruff here. I'm serious. Like, I'm serious. You can have some scruff here because, like, the stats back up the scruff. But if I was looking like this, but like homeless, It wouldn't work. Hey, it's either it is what it is.
I 1000% agree. To women that are listening to this going, what is he talking about? Or, because there are always going to be people disagreeing. What would you say to that? Because there are some people out there that believe in the traditional way. And of course, it's temptation to them. And it's about controlling that.
So I would say this, right? Two things, two lanes of thought here. One, usually when they talk about temptation and whatever, you're talking about the Bible, right? You're talking about religion. I would invite you to actually go read the book. Polygyny's all throughout it. There's times where God says he'd have blessed, I think it was David, with more wives if he had just asked, instead of committing adultery, which was sleeping with another man's wife. It wasn't, him having multiple wives. Some of the guys with highest favor in the book, obviously. But then also on a prescription type of basis, I have a guy I do strength training with sometimes. Good kid. Doesn't do nothing. Name's Ellsworth. Great guy. He lives and walks the walk of like, I'm going to be that perfect type of guy in that respect. So if that's what you want as a woman, then you should walk that walk, and you should have been walking that walk. That's another thing too. Don't try to reinvent the wheel at fucking 40. Don't do that. You know what I'm saying? Like, just don't do that and expect like a guy to want that. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like, or love that. Like, like, and not to say that there's not somebody out there for you. Not to say there's not somebody out there who won't accept you, because I know how it gets when people try to like flip words and twist words because they want to, be mad or be a victim or whatever it is. It's just that it always goes back to that understanding aspect of guys tend to like this subset of things. Yeah. Either I'm going to do those things or I'm not, but I have to accept the consequences of me not doing those things. And that you choose your heart in all aspects of life. You know what I'm saying? Like, if I didn't want to tear my ACLs, I probably shouldn't have done nothing athletic. So if I really want to get married to this hyper traditional guy, I probably should have been hyper traditional from the beginning.
Yeah.
Like,
a lot of women, they get to that final boss, I call it, when all of a sudden I'm religious and all that stuff. Like, you did your duties, now you turn to God.
And that's where you get guys upset, right? Because, and again, I do think this is one of the aspects of life that lends itself more to being a man, where you can kind of become successful a little bit later. And so they might look across the aisle and be like, well, that's not fair because he can reinvent himself at 40, 50, stuff like that. Yeah, but he also had to learn that he wasn't shit his whole life either. Whereas you were told you were a goddess from jump. Like, I've never, like, I could probably count on my hands how many times I've heard a woman be like, nah, like, they were real honest with me when I was growing up. Most everybody says, like, I'm a goddess, I'm a queen, or I'm perfect, or I'm this, or whatever. And it's like, yeah, I mean, look, and again, have self-confidence. It's great. But just understand that, like, that if you're indoctrinated like that for 30, 40 years, it's hard to unlearn that. Whatever you've done, it's hard to, like, unteach that. That probably takes mountains of therapy and self-reflection and looking in the mirror and all that other stuff. And so if you can reinvent yourself, more power to you. But there's just stuff that you like, and there's stuff that we like. For example, I don't see women clamoring to date a broke man. I don't see it. You know what I'm saying? Unless they grew up with him or something crazy like that. But I don't see a woman just waking up at 40 and be like, you know what? I want a 40-year-old broke man. Like, it don't work. It don't happen. So we all like what we like. And it's just like, you got to accept that and trend into the direction of what you want. Like, if you want to be in the NBA, you probably should work out and play basketball every day and do the recovery and all that stuff. I can't sit on the couch, eat Cheetos, get fat, and then be like, but they won't call me.
They
like,
won't call, yeah. So most people won't put in the work.
No.
So that kind of brings in the next one about, monogamy and all that. What's your take on that open dynamic of relationship, or that traditional way of relationship? Because you kind of said
I don't think monogamy is traditional. I don't think it is.
Can you elaborate a little bit on that?
Yeah, I think it's an idealistic viewpoint that gives people the warm and fuzzies. But if we look at it, bro, if we did a study right now, how many men are ancestors and how many women are our ancestors, I guarantee you it ain't 50-50. I guarantee you that.
Genghis Khan, he can get like 400 wives or something.
You feel what I'm saying? King Solomon in the Bible has 700. You feel me? So there's, and you can use extreme examples, or you can go down to people that had 2, 3, 4, whatever it is, or you can, but it's just, again, the concept as a man of to the victor goes the spoils is just how life works. You know, as a man, like, you must be great.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And that comes with a lot of bad stuff. Like again, no woman right now that I know I'm 33, I just turned 33 last week, is saying, God, I really want to sprain my foot, sprain my ankle multiple times, tear my ACL twice, have pains when I get up in the morning sometimes. Like, man, like, I want to work out every single day. Like, I want to not eat what I want. I want to, be on basically steak, fish, and fruit and, whatever. Like, all the stuff. Oh, and take care of my entire family and yada, yada. And next time I want a car, I can't get it because I'm going to get my brother a car. Like, all that stuff. You're not in a rush to do that.
No.
But that's what comes with this. It's all of that. You feel me? It's all of the above. Like, and that's how you get here in this seat. But then when you do sit in the seat, you get to say, yeah, I do like her. I don't like her.
Yeah. And you're right. I think a lot of men, we have our different ways of feeling strong and powerful. I know for me as a martial artist, when I walk into a big room, I'm like, man, I could fuck everybody up here, and maybe it's a part of the ego, but it comes from a protective self-defense state of mind.
Yes. If
I had to. To me, learning self-defense and martial arts is like car insurance. You're glad you have it, but you don't really want to use it.
There you go.
So as a man, what makes you feel powerful or strong or in that king energy?
Shoot. I think multifaceted. I honestly think that's something that what you talked about, like car insurance, I think that too. And obviously, boxing on my spare time versus like really fucking people up is two different things. But like you generally feel like if you in shape, strong, whatever, from a like physical altercation standpoint, you thinking like, man, like if they ain't a pro in here, they ain't got a weapon, like I'm gonna be fine. You know what I'm saying? That part, I think taking care of your family is a big one. Mm-hmm. I think when a man's able to be like, nah, ma, it's okay, don't worry. Yeah. I think that being able to sit there and really mean that does something a little bit different. Mm-hmm. I would say, I would say like those type of things, I think is, especially if we take it out of like a relationship lens or whatever, I think that's why you always hear people when they get drafted or whatever it is, they're like, I'm buying my mama a house or whatever it is. I think to be able to sit in that seat and say like, nah, ma, you're okay. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Is huge. And then feeling like nobody's just gonna take advantage of you. Like you could protect yourself at any time, like barring a gun or something. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
well, what I'm hearing when you speak right now is a lot of traditional values.
Yeah.
Because a lot of the new men, like I saw this show on Netflix, I forgot what it's called. And the guy was basically going around asking these like Andrew Tate influencers or whatever of what it is to be like that masculinity. And I think they're kind of brainwashing the younger guys. They kind of have a good point of masculinity, be strong and go out there and work. But the way they're talking to women, downgrade them like, you bitch, you this. And I'm like, that's not masculinity to me. That's not king energy to me. You're just a dick.
I think that's guys that are speaking from a place of pain. Yeah. Whenever you're speaking from a place of pain or hurt, male or female, like you typically go on the attack, but it's like a animal backed into a corner. Mm-hmm. It's an erratic attack, right? Because I do think like as a man, you do have to have a certain level of like, hey, this is the boundary, and kind of be surgical with like, hey, we're going to operate like this, not like this. And so sometimes people can take that as an attack, but you don't mean it that way. Mm-hmm. But I think like, my parents are older. They're like, they're not like 50, right? Yeah. So I think I do have a more traditional kind of like framework and like background to like lean onto. Mm-hmm. And it's funny because shoot, they've been married like 35 years. So they always kind of like, shudder when I say like, monogamy wasn't really a good thing. And I love them. And I love their relationship, you know what I'm saying? And it's beautiful. But yeah, I think masculinity is protect, provide, but it's not necessarily to attack. Like you said, the wolf, the alpha wolf has to know he can defend the entire tribe.
Exactly.
He has to be able to jump out in front when need be to take the bullet or to protect or to, stop an attack. But it's not about puffing your chest out and being like, hey, I got to be the center of attention.
Mm-hmm.
Like, if anything, one of the things, ironically enough, and talking about like center of attention or whatever, is like, if I'm like really with a woman, like I'm really with you, you know what I'm saying? Like, I want you to have all the jewelry and the stuff and to be like, I dress like this every day. Like unless we're literally going to like a gala where I have to like put on a suit, like my teenage stuff will laugh. Like, I would go to the club like this. Bands, like, you know what I'm saying, the whole nine. So it's more for them to be able to be flashy and have that moment and be the center of attention. Like, you just got to know, like, at any point in time, like, I can handle my business. Yeah. And that's where I think that's that line. Like, it's not about me, but like, if at any point in time we need to make this something else, we can.
Yeah.
Now,
you touched on something because you were saying, you want her to have all that jewelry and stuff. I like soft.
Yeah.
Especially with a woman. I think, to me, that's true strength.
Yeah.
I hear a lot of women just angry, and a man can't. I'm like, no, why would I want to come home to another dude? I use this analogy a lot. If I'm over here going hike, and you're next to me going hike, we can't hike together.
Yeah,
Who the fuck is catching the ball?
Yeah, nah.
So I like that. To me, that's true strength. I've met a few women in my life where I'm like, wow, you are rare.
Yeah.
You're soft, you're sweet.
Yeah.
But I feel there's a misconception of that strength. And it goes back to that trauma that I think a lot of women have where they dated someone and they fucked them up. Yeah. And now they're like, feminism. And they're fucking ruining for these beautiful, flowery girls.
Yeah. And, you actually gave an analogy earlier with the umbrella. And it's funny because I have an African best friend, right? And he says the woman should be the neck and the man's the head. But think about it, like the head can't turn without the neck. You know what I mean? So you need, you know what I'm saying? You need that balance. You need her to kind of help, but she's helping from a standpoint of like,
that's good.
Let's say we're all in a room, right? And she sees something and she's like, oh no, like that's not going to be any good, but you're conducting business. Mm-hmm. Sometimes it might do even more harm to like jump in and be like, no, blah, blah, because everybody's gonna be like, bro, what the fuck is going on?
Yeah.
But a woman that can like pull the guy to the side and be like, hey babe, like I saw this, just keep your eyes on it just in case. I'm bringing your attention to it. I think it's this. I don't necessarily know what it might be or whatever it is. Like,
and that's self-aware, right? Would you say that's self-aware? Okay.
Yeah, like self-aware, super supportive, always on the lookout, but doesn't have to like commandeer the situation, especially if it's like a more like man-to-man or confrontational or whatever it may be. And just can like knowing that kind of like how to be that neck in a sense, you end up controlling the man. Like the craziest part is I told some of my boys this, I'm gonna give y'all the rest of the game too. I told them I'm gonna write a book, Women Win by Losing.
Women what?
Women win by losing.
Ooh.
And if you think about it, every behavior that she can like control her man with in society looks like a loss.
Yeah.
But it's because we bend the knee to who like melts our heart versus like who's telling us like, nah, you better do blah, blah. And you're like,
bitch,
like,
what are you talking to?
Because then there's that natural level of like animosity, confrontation, or like I've seen women, or like when the lady just went viral on like throwing the chair at the dude or whatever. Picture if that dude took the chair up and threw it back. How much harder, faster, whatever the chair would have. And if she is hit with that chair, instead of him being like, ow, she'd have been like broken bones. Like it's just so different. You know what I mean? Yeah. So what happens though is, like you said, sometimes that separation happens and a woman comes up to you and she's like, you know what? I ain't gonna lie, Spence. You were right, I'm sorry, but it just really hurt my feelings. You go, oh, damn, baby. All right. Like, what I need to do? All right, I'm sorry. Like, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. That's how you win.
Yeah.
It's simple.
Yeah, you're right.
It's simple as hell. Like, it's so funny because they talk like, I'm gonna yell at you, blah, blah. You sitting there like, who are you yelling at? I don't let my mama talk to me like this. Like, are you crazy? Then the next reaction is like, if my mom shows me more respect than this, you should leave.
Yeah.
And it just escalates further and further and further, and no resolution happens, nothing good happens. But when a woman comes to you and is like, you know what? Yeah, you were right. But the way you said it And maybe you said that because you had a tough day at practice, but it just hurt my feelings. And I just wanted you to know, like, I love you. And man, like, it hurt me. You immediately like,
Yeah.
fuck.
I think almost every guy would agree with that. And the funny thing is, jumping on the next one is, you know, what makes a healthy relationship? What do you think makes like a healthy, happy relationship?
That
And
80-20
I'm gonna say
understanding.
it's not happy wife, happy life.
No,
It's not.
it's the 80-20 understanding.
Yeah.
That's what it is. If you can step outside yourself and genuinely try to understand the person that's sitting across from you,
Mm-hmm.
you know what I'm saying, and they do the same,
Mm-hmm.
you're constantly in this like mutual servitude, but not in this like bad servant way. You're in like this mutual, like, how can I make your life better?
Mm-hmm.
But you almost get like competitive with it.
Yeah.
In terms of, we're gonna keep upping the bar on how we can make each other's life better. And it's not one person sitting there absorbing all the benefits, like, yeah, come on, pay for this, do this, do this. And it's not, you know what I'm saying, the other person is sitting over there like, yeah, cook the food, da 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 da. No, it's like, man, like, you need this. Oh, shoot, how can I? Oh, you was really chefing it, man. Hey, I got you these seasons I saw you looking at on TikTok. You really like, here you go. Like, and so you feel thought of, you feel cared for, you feel all this other stuff. And as that grows and builds, you also feel that warmth and that bond and like, nah, this person really got my back.
Yeah.
You feel what I'm saying? So it's like, is that, and then like I said, when conflict arises, that 20% of I can step into that emotional understanding space, and she can step into that, man, 2 + 2 really is 4.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Whatever else. Boom.
I love that. Which brings me to my last question. You know, I'm sure a lot of guys kind of went through this. Had you had to walk away from someone you really love, like it stings, but you had to walk away, and why?
I think both emotionally and physically the answer would be yeah. And I think that the reason you draw those lines is because you say like purpose matters.
Mm-hmm.
And I think for me, at any given time, it could be 20 people that are affected in some manner
Mm-hmm.
by my ability to stay focused and do my job at some type of level. So I can't throw all that away just because you having a moment.
Mm-hmm.
You feel me? Just like, it's like the needs of the many are worth more than the needs of the few, or whatever that, you know, old adage and proverb is. So
Yeah.
it's kind of like that, you know? And like I said, sometimes it's physically, sometimes emotionally, and where you gotta just shut that part of your heart off for a second, because you're like, hey, I gotta go to work.
Yeah, that would work.
You know what I mean? Like, and it hurts, but, and I think the thing that hurts even more is when you feel like they so angry they couldn't even see that you had to shut it off. They just still mad about what they feel like they want or deserve, whatever. And you sitting there like, I don't think you realize what this is finna do.
Mm-hmm.
Like, if I really have to really shut this part of my heart off and go to work,
Yeah.
and really like tuck that box away,
Mm-hmm.
it's gonna be real hard to open that thing back up.
Oh yeah.
You know what I mean? So
I know exactly what you mean.
is because the 20, I can't look at the 20 in the eye and be like, nah, we lost because of that.
Yeah.
Like, I can't sit with myself for 50 years on that.
Yeah.
I could probably sit with myself for 50 years being like, yo, you hurt me, so I had to go take care of the fam. I can't be like, you hurt me, so me addressing your hurt is why I couldn't take care of the fam.
Yeah.
No.
No, I hear you, man. Man, dude, I wish we could go for hours, but we gotta end this segment. But to me, for the overall summary, you know, at the end of the day, we're chasing love, validation, and all these things. But I think the real question is, when everything is stripped away, who are you really?
Yeah.
And a lot of us are pretending.
Yeah.
A lot of us are wearing masks.
Yeah.
A lot of us don't have the courage to be disliked.
Yeah.
And I have the courage to be disliked, because you know, it tells me that not everyone's going to agree, and not everyone's going to agree. And you get to be yourself, which is the one thing we truly own. But society kind of puts us in a box, whether it's you got to do this, you got to live this way. I mean, we're born on a beautiful green rock, but we got to work. We can't really enjoy it. And only few of us get to do it. And the excuse is, well, you got to be success. So then what really is success? You know? So I think when a lot of us, especially men, learn to really sit with themselves.
Yeah.
And I think get comfortable with that uncomfortable feeling, we can learn to grow, have different thoughts, and manifest, and have something to believe in. And you don't have to be a dick about it. Like we talk about, you represent yourself.
Yeah.
It's your belief system.
Yeah.
And the moral of it all is to listen to understand.
Exactly.
And not listen to reply, so we can just pretty much all fucking get along.
Yeah.
So
there you go.
Brother, I thank you so much for being here, man. You're a stud. I know we have the same doctor.
Yeah.
So that's how we met. But man, thank you for the insight and everything you said. It was really cool. Appreciate you. This is the Hall Pass. And as they say in my country, stay black. If you like this show, follow down below and comment, like, and subscribe.